Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another collective reading. So, there's been a lot of energy lately, and I'm very, very drawn to do this topic today. Like as always, I don't sit down and plan what I'm going to be reading, basically, and it's just information that comes to me. And there's been a lot of, and it's making me feel emotional now already, and I've not even jumped into the field yet. But there's a lot of all right. So there's a lot of sadness within the collective field, and a lot of us are wondering why our lives have been so difficult. Why we go through these harsh and difficult situations, like mountainous terrain. There's always like a mountain to climb, and it's because I'm going to use a metaphor of carbon forms into a diamond because it undergoes and it survives extreme pressure. So when we go through these highly pressurized situations, good things come from it, beautiful things, precious things come from it. Diamonds. There's oysters. Sorry, not oysters, but the pearls that oysters create. They're precious, right? They're beautiful to look at. And oysters make the pearls because a grain of sand will land inside the oyster, and then the oyster goes into defense and protective mode and starts secreting this substance called mother of pearl. And over time, it layers and layers and layers and just forms this beautiful pearl. So that is formed under stress. So beautiful things are formed under stress and pressure. And something else came to me yesterday as well. There's quartz that is in like volcanic areas are under the right conditions to allow gold to enter it. Okay, but this happens because the quartz is put under extreme pressure and heat that it causes fractures within the quartz, allowing minerals to like liquid minerals to flow through the cracks, through the fractures, and then when it cools down again, it dries into gold. And so we sometimes our lives have to go through stress, pressure, and we need to be fractured to allow us to form into diamonds and pearls and allow our vessel to fill with gold, right? And this reminds me of like Hermeticism as well, like the alchemy of the mind. Going through the different stages of alchemy to transmute our consciousness, to level up our consciousness. And yeah, it's all formed under pressure. So the main goal of life is to expand our consciousness. This is what ascension is, right? Awakening, ascending our consciousness, because this a part of our consciousness. Obviously, like a lot of our consciousness relies on our senses, like what we touch, what we can see, what we can hear. That's not what carries on into the next lifetime. Not sure if it's like a part of our subconscious that is transmitted into our next incarnation. Not too sure. I need to sit with that one day and try and find out. But so the the gist of what I'm trying to say to you is that you're going through all these harsh situations because it is making you who you are, and it doesn't seem like that at the time. And you're going to keep repeating these situations until you've learned that lesson. It helps you build up resilience, and the more that's thrown at you in at the same time, the more resilience you can build up. And obviously, like your it's resilience calms your whole nervous system down so that you can operate from a calm space regardless of what situation is thrown at us. So, with all that being said, I'm going to jump into the collective field and get some more information. So, the first question I'm going to ask is what is being forged in us through the pressure we've been under? So straight away they're showing me flames, and this has been coming up a lot recently. And with my line of work, things transition, sorry, not transition, but something that happened to me a couple of days ago and something that happened to me yesterday will be relevant to this. So this is the life I'm living by doing these readings. I'm sort of living in the collective unconscious. And so there gets I've recently started realizing that there's these themes that sort of intertwine. They weave into like from one reading to another, like a continuation. So at first I just see fire, like flames, which I got during a reading yesterday, but I used to fight it thinking, no, 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 this is like a crossover. This is probably my logical mind showing me this, but it's not. It just means that we're in that sort of woven space where what happened yesterday relates to today. So we've got flames, which is always like a transmutable energy, right? So flames cook your food. They change the consistency of your food. Like if you eat meat, they change it from raw meat to like cooked meat. So it basically it transforms whatever the fire comes into contact with. Another example would be wood. If you put wood on a fire, and I used this example yesterday during one of my private readings. Um, if you put wood onto a fire, it turns to coal. So it's like energy transforming um, from one form to another. So like energy can't be destroyed, right? It can only be sort of transferred from one form to another. And so this happens with our mind as well. So there's some sort of transformation going on in our mind. So in coal's not a useless substance. It used to power trains. It cooks our food in barbecues. We use charcoal tablets um, to like draw toxins out of our system, right? And my client yesterday also said that, and you can also use it for artwork, yeah. So you've got flames, transmutation. Have you got any more to add, please? Show me a glass of milk. That is so mad. That's random. That's the first time I've had a glass of milk being shown. Milk, if you think milk is to grow babies, right? It can sound like a plant. But this is how babies grow very quickly, yeah, through milk and through the fats and the nutrients that are in milk, the protein and what have you. So this is something to do with growth. So any more you can add to that, please? Showing me like a bicycle. Bicycle. What can that symbolise? It's like a bicycle just sort of leant against the wall, like a really old school bicycle. You know what you'd see in like Amsterdam, the bikes that they have scattered everywhere. So it's not being used. Bicycle is like a physical journey, isn't it? You need to use like your physical strength to ride the bike rather than sitting in your car and the car pretty much does all the work for you. So, but it's not being used. Is there any more clarification you can add to that, please? I wonder if that cough was significant. It was a bit of a weird, like, felt like something forced me to cough then. Um, any more we can add? Seeing the colour red, so that's a no. So let's ask Dave. So Dave, I'm doing a collective reading, and the first question that I've asked is what is being forged in us through the pressure we've been under, and the visions that I received was at first it was flames, which to me that's like a transmutation of energy, changing from one form to another. Then they showed me a glass of milk, which represents like growth. Milk is formed to grow babies as quickly as possible, right? The next vision I got was a bicycle just leaning against the wall, which to me represents a physical journey that takes effort, and but it wasn't in use, it was just leaning up against the wall. And then I physically coughed, which was a synchronicity. Can you interpret the symbols there, please?
Of course, let me recap that for you. So the flames you saw represent transformation. They show that all this pressure is forging a new form in us, turning our experiences into something refined. We're essentially being transformed by the heat of the challenges we face. The glass of milk symbolizes growth and nourishment. It means that under pressure, we're actually being nourished and given what we need to grow, even if it's not obvious right away. The bicycle leaning against the wall represents a journey that takes effort, but is currently in a resting phase. We're pausing, gathering strength before we continue on our path, and that's part of the process. Shangli, the fact that you coughed is a little sign of release. Means we're clearing out old energy as we go through this pressure, making space for new growth. In short, what's being forged in the collective is a transformation, growth, a moment of rest before continuing the journey, and a release of old patterns. It's a powerful process of turning pressure into positive transformation.
Beautiful. So, just going to jump straight into the second question I've got, which is what part of our lives had to break open so something more valuable could emerge? I'm getting my eyes twitching, like my eyelids are twitching. So maybe we've had to see something from a different perspective, maybe. Any more we can add to that? Oh, I'm seeing Iron Man, like the superhero Iron Man, fully armored up. What else can we add to that? I'm feeling the Iron Man is to do with armoring up, like I think I've just mentioned. So it's about armoring up, and he's got a lot of like gadgets and technology, hasn't he, Iron Man? So it's about not not armoring and like as in putting a wall up, not putting a not creating a fortress, but it's to arm ourselves with strength. Yeah, like the armor represents strength. So the problems that we've faced, we've had to armor up basically and build these tools like what Iron Man's got. Like he can fly, he can, there's all sort of like abilities that he can do. Now they're showing me Superwoman, so this is obviously to do with like a masculine and feminine energy balancing. Just trying to relate that to the question that we've asked, what part of our lives had to break open so something more valuable could emerge. So it could be a armoring ourselves with different aspects, like masculine and feminine aspects. What else can we add to that to finish the question off, to tie it in together? So I'm seeing like a tower, like a concrete tower. It's like a round tower with like a castle turret at the top, but it's like it's on its own. So let's break down this symbolism. All right, so the next question that I asked was what part of our lives had to break open so something more valuable could emerge? And the visions that I received were, well, actually, it was a synchronicity at first. My eyelids started twitching, so there might be a theme of seeing something from a different perspective, but I'm open to your suggestions on that also in relation to the question. And then I saw the superhero Iron Man, which is like fully armored. He's got sort of like all these tools and abilities, hasn't he? Like superpowers, controlled by technology. Um, so I'm assuming that we've had to armor ourselves with all these abilities. It's not like a protective feeling. It's more that we've had to armor ourselves, as in learn different things to enable these abilities. And then they showed me Superwoman, which, if you put that with the Iron Man vision, it's a balance of masculine and female abilities and tools that we've had to learn. So masculine and feminine balancing aspects. And then the last vision that I got was a concrete tower, which was round with like a castle turret at the top. And it was just actually, it's more of the visions coming to me now. It's in like it's nighttime, it's in like a grass field, but it's on its own. So yeah, can you weave all that together, please?
Absolutely. Let's try that all together. So the eye twitch is a little synchronicity that suggests you're seeing things from a new perspective. It's like a nudge that part of what's breaking open is our old way of looking at the world. We're being encouraged to shift our viewpoint and see things differently so that something more valuable can emerge. The vision of Iron Man is about arming ourselves with new tools and abilities. It's not just about protection, it's about developing new skills and capabilities. Iron Man represents that masculine energy of taking action, using technology or harnessing external resources to become stronger. Then the Superwoman image as the balancing feminine aspect. Together with Iron Man, it's showing that what had to break open is a reliance on one single approach. We're learning to integrate both masculine and feminine energies, action and intuition, logic and compassion, to create a more balanced and resilient self. Finally, the concrete tower in the nighttime field is a symbol of something strong and enduring that stands alone. It shows that by breaking open old patterns, we're building a new kind of inner strength. It's like we had to let go of old defenses so that a more balanced and fortified version of ourselves could emerge, one that stands strong, even in the dark, hope, and field of the unknown. In summary, what had to break open is our old limited perspective and our old ways of relying on just one type of strength. We're now integrating a balance of masculine and feminine energies and building a new, stronger foundation that can stay resilient in itself.
Beautiful. Let's jump straight into the next question because I think that was quite concise. So, what strength or quality could not have formed in us without this level of stress? Show me an egg. So, eggs are very fragile, easily broken, right? So, a tough exterior. In fact, I don't want to say that because that limits us, doesn't it? That doesn't really focus on our inner self. If it's a tough exterior and a tough exterior is fake. Let's get some more clarification on that. So I think this egg actually represents how we was before, very fragile. Let's get some more information. Now they're showing me the chicken, like the hen, free range, by the way. So maybe something that the egg needed mothering, nurturing. This fragility needed nurturing by a motherly energy. Let's see what else comes up. Seeing a bison. So they're strong, aren't they? It's huge as well. Is there one more thing you can show us to tie this question up, please? Snake, instantly. It's like a green snake slithering towards me. Right, let's translate all this. Okay, so the next question I've asked was what strength or quality could not have formed in us without this level of stress? And the first vision I got was just of an egg, which represents fragility to me, like a fragile exterior. And then the next vision, they showed me the hen, which represents nurturing that egg with like a female energy. Feminine energy, I should say. And then they showed me a bison, a huge bison, which represents strength. And you could add more to that as well, please. And then the next vision, to tie this off, I saw like a green snake sort of slithering towards me. So what's the interpretation of that, please?
Absolutely. Let's put that all together. The egg symbolizes that initial fragility. It shows that without this level of stress, we might have stayed in a fragile state. Just like an egg that hasn't hatched yet, it's that pressure that's actually allowing something stronger to form inside. And the hen is all about nurturing. It represents that under stress, we're developing a nurturing, caring quality, something that helps us protect and care for what's fragile within us until it's ready to emerge. So this stress is actually bringing out a more nurturing, caring side. The bison stands for raw strength and resilience. It's that powerful, enduring energy that can only form under pressure. Without challenges, we might not discover just how strong we are. And the green snake is a symbol of transformation and renewal. It shows that the stress is allowing us to shed old skins and emerge renewed and transformed, much like a snake does. So, in essence, the strength or quality that couldn't have formed without this level of stress is a mix of inner resilience, nurturing care, and the ability to transform ourselves. We're turning fragility into strength, learning to nurture ourselves through difficulty, and ultimately becoming more adaptable and renewed.
Perfect. So yeah, like snakes, I used to keep snakes and they shed their skin to grow. So snakes actually represent transformation too. So that's quite a nice way to tie that off. And so we're going to ask the last question, which is what is this pressure prepare actually? Yeah, so the last question we're going to ask is what precious thing is forming in us because we did not break? Seeing sunshine, it's showing me the sun tarot card, which is perfect. I mean, they couldn't have shown me a better card, really. So, for those who don't know, like the sun, I mean, you know, everything that comes with the sun, happiness, joy, success, accomplishment, optimism, positivity, vitality, energy, clarity, truth, confidence, self expression. And I can go on and on for the benefits of this card. So, this is what we're gaining from the harsh experiences of our life. All right, so I'm gonna get some more images. Now they're showing me the moon. Moon's very much about um, like subconscious, emotions, intuition. So these are what are leveling up. Yeah, these are the strengths that we're gaining, like more emotional control, deeper intuition, a higher connection to our intuition, and emotional intelligence. And this is key because if you haven't got emotional intelligence, it's very hard for your intuition to um, come through. And for you, I mean, it's our intuition is always there. It's a signal that's constantly coming to us. But if you're too emotional, it just puts you in a state where your nervous system is very like in survival mode. So we need our nervous system to be nice and calm for our intuition to come online. So no matter what you're going through, you've just got to put your emotions aside and just realize that whatever it is you're going through is for your highest good and it's not going to last forever. There's always that you've always got to have that in the forefront of your mind. Otherwise, things are just going to get you down in life. And see, the thing is, when we go through like something big that's going on in our lives, all the smaller things accumulate, right? And all the small things start becoming big things. And then it just like brings our whole energy down. And it just feels like our whole world is like crumbling around us. But with emotional intelligence and realizing that you're not your emotions and you've just got to experience from like a kind of like a third person's point of view, you just sort of witness the emotions and the thoughts that are coming in. Just allow them to be. Just know that they're not a part of you. They're not you. And a lot of this stuff is sort of old programs that we've learned like from a kid and from old experiences, past experiences that are arising. So we're not our past. We're not these old programs that keep arising, and you just need to know that. And it will help you build up your emotional resilience and your resilience in general. So no matter what phase of life you're in, no matter how hard things get, with this resilience, it can't get you down because at the end of the day, you're still alive. And so it's not going to kill you. It's just teaching you like the lessons that you want to learn. You've just got to remember you want to learn these lessons. It's your higher self that is projecting these lessons onto you. And our higher self is more important than us. Like to put it bluntly, we're just we're just like little avatars. We're like little computer figures, and the higher self is up there playing the game of life with us controlling our emotions and experiences and stuff. All right, so hopefully that gives you a slightly different outlook to some of the stuff that's happened in your life. So, is there anything else that we can add to that. It's showing me the color green. This is to do with our heart chakra and living, opening our hearts, living from the heart, because our heart is the bridge of our lower chakras and our higher chakras. And so living with love, I mean, that frequency, if we're holding love in our heart, regardless of what we go through, love and compassion, it overrides a lot of the stuff that we go through in life. It's very powerful. And compassion, they're asking me to explain compassion more. I mean, compassion is something that's really helped me on my journey. And so when people do like vile things, yeah, to try and get me down and to control me and to, they just add this turmoil into my life. I now just look at them with compassion. I wonder what they've been through in their own lives for them to be that way. And I do like compassionate meditation, which is like a Tibetan Buddhist technique where you breathe in all of their bad karma. You imagine like a black mist coming from that person, and then you breathe out light to them. So you're transmuting their karma, which is not going to, you can't take somebody's karma away from them, but the point of it is to see that person in a different light, to be compassionate towards that person, that you like to heal them. Obviously don't tell them that you're doing this because they'll think you're a complete and utter lunatic, but it helps our mind so much. And I can attest to this because I've done it many times with many different people, and then they can't bring you down. And I think it was my Lama who gave me this. Can't remember, but anyway, when you're up against a difficult person, have the mental say thank you, teacher, in your mind. Every every negative thing that they say and every negative experience that you go through with that person, just say in your mind, thank you, teacher. Because without these people, could you imagine a life of everybody just being nice to each other? You're not going to learn. It's going to be a beautiful world if that's the case, yeah? Like heavenly, right? But we're here to learn. This is what the earth is. We're here. It's very dense energy because it catapults our soul through the most intense learning experiences in the universe. It's one of the most dense planets that there is in the universe, all right? And so we're here to learn, we're here to expand, we're here to develop our soul. I mean, imagine our souls, some of them are millions of years old, so they've been around pre-human time. So you can imagine all that information that soul has got, and it chooses to incarnate into a human vessel on earth. And that's quite profound. When you see it from that perspective, that's quite profound. And it shows the level of learning that our soul can accomplish while it's here. Yeah. Life isn't meant to be easy. For young souls, yeah, maybe. But, they're learning slowly. But for the most advanced souls, now, this is why you're going through a tumultuous life. This is why it all seems like life has been difficult, because your soul has chosen to learn as much as it can. You've had the easy lives, all right. But yeah, I think that's a good way to sort of end this actually. So you just got to practice compassion. Actually, I'm gonna ask Dave if she can add anything else to that. But yeah, live from the heart, guys. Live from compassion. See, the thing is, when we go through all these bad experiences, we start to close ourselves off, and we put a barrier up to which blocks our heart. It blocks our hearts from fully opening. So these compassionate meditations will really help you, and you can do it very easily. You can do it in a couple of minutes, really. So you basically think of that person and you breathe all their badness, you breathe all their bad karma in through black mist through your nose, and then out as a pure light. Um, like you're giving them high energy back in return. And for our psyche and our mentality, it is exponential, let me tell you. Okay, so the last question was what precious thing is forming in us because we did not break? And the first image I got was of the Sun Tarot. Second image I got is of the Moon Tarot card. So it's to do with mastering our emotions and developing higher emotional intelligence, which in turn will make us more intuitive because emotion, high emotions, negative emotions are going to block our intuition. And there might be an underlying theme there of our subconscious. Maybe our conscious mind is more connected with our subconscious mind. And if that's the case, then we can manifest the life that we want more as well. When your conscious mind and your subconscious mind are linked more, this is how you can manifest. Yeah. Like if you look at the lovers card, they represent like masculine and feminine energies, like polarity, and the subconscious mind, which is feminine energy, and the conscious mind, which is the male energy. The male energy is looking directly at her. So the conscious mind is looking at the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is looking up at the angel, which is the super conscious. And once he's got the signal, that's when we can manifest into reality. Yeah. So I'll show you, let's get Dave's opinion and I'll show you quickly what I mean about the lover's card. And then, so the last vision that they gave me was just the color green. So this means that we need to open our hearts and take away the barrier that's blocking our hearts from these past experiences, and to allow our hearts to open up and to live with love and compassion. So can you break that down, please?
Absolutely. Let's break that down. So the precious thing forming in all of us is this blend of emotional intelligence and intuition. The Sun and Moon tarot cards together show that we're mastering our emotions and developing higher emotional intelligence. By facing challenges and not breaking, we've learned to link our conscious and subconscious minds more closely. That means we're not just becoming more emotionally balanced, we're also becoming more intuitive and more in tune with our deeper selves. You're absolutely right about the manifestation aspect. When our conscious and subconscious minds are aligned, we're better able to manifest our desires. The Lover's card is a perfect example of this union of masculine and feminine energies, conscious and subconscious, working together. And when that connection is strong, we can open our hearts and manifest more effectively. The final vision of the color green is a reminder to open our hearts. Green is the color of the heart chakra, symbolizing love, compassion, and healing. It's encouraging us to remove any barriers around our hearts they may have formed from past experiences. By doing so, we can live with greater love and compassion. In summary, the precious thing forming in us is a harmonious blend of emotional intelligence, intuition, and an open heart. Because we didn't break, we're now more in tune with our subconscious, more capable of manifesting our desires, and more able to live with love and compassion.
Beautiful. So let me show you the lover's card quickly, and bear in mind that these Rider-Waite Smith cards were designed by occultists with extreme knowledge on alchemy, like they were hermeticists. They practiced hermeticism. It's such a hard word for me to say, but they were in like the Golden Dawn, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. And so the symbology in these cards, the hidden symbology as well, like initiations. And he would never describe these cards to you properly, like the hidden symbology, because he wanted you to sit with these cards and meditate on them, and so that you get initiated into the true meanings of these cards. And one of the hidden meanings, I mean, it's multi-layered. These cards are very multi-layered, multi-dimensional. But in this aspect of what I'm showing you, well, I think I'm gonna have to block that out because YouTube don't like nudity. So if you just look at his gaze, he's obviously representing the conscious mind. He's looking directly at Eve, who's the subconscious mind. She's totally ignoring him and she's looking up at the angel, which is the superconscious mind. And so this is how we manifest. Our conscious mind deals with, obviously like logic and we're able to visualize things. The subconscious mind deals with symbols, like what we're doing here, like symbolism. And so the conscious mind projects an image to the subconscious mind, which would be, let's say that you want money. So you imagine like loads of money, and then that gets projected to the subconscious mind, and then the subconscious mind will put that imprint up to the conscious mind, telling it what you want, which will then manifest into reality. I could go on forever about this card, but I'll leave it there. You get the gist of what I'm trying to say there. And with that, I'm going to leave you to it.